We know that a regular buyer is not going to buy this house.
Right.
So we know that a person that's going to buy this house is an investor.
Right.
And we know we have to give the investor a certain price in order for him to make sense.
Right.
So then they're going to price it. Then the price gets attached to the property, then it goes in the system, and then you watch it. And then you go bid on it. So it's a whole process.
Right.
Yeah. So, and then with the short sales.
But as far as the foreclosure, once it's already listed, it's sold. It sells just like any other property, does it?
Sure.
So it doesn't take any extra time or any extra effort.
Well, it can. You have to. The only thing you have to be careful about is a title. The titles have to be clean.
Okay.
You never want to buy a property without the title being abstract and clean and scrubbed, and make sure the title company goes back at least 60 years, and make sure the title has been changed hands properly for at least 60 years.
Okay, and what's the opposite of a clean title?
But dirty title.
Then how can it be dirty? What?
It could be a lien attached to it.
Okay.
So I have a house
Yeah.
under my name.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say I hired you to do work for me.
Yeah.
I never paid you
Okay.
$10,000, $20,000. So you went to the court and you filed a lien against me against this property.
Right.
So there's a lien attached to that property.
Okay.
Okay, let's say I didn't pay my water bill
Mm-hmm.
for 2 years. So the water company is going to attach a lien to the property, a water bill lien. Okay? So let's say I had a second mortgage. I created a private note. You gave me $50,000 and I created a private note with you and it got recorded. That's a lien. So that's a dirty title. A dirty title is any title that has liens attached to it. A clean title is we got no liens, it's just clean.
Right. You don't owe anybody.
There's nothing attached to it.
There's no one that can claim any money into that
Right.
title property.
So you want to, with foreclosure properties, the banks want you to use their title companies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recommend you use their title companies. I recommend you get your own title company.
Okay.
Because your own title company is going to make sure your interest is at hand, right? So that your title company will make sure that this title is super clean
Mm-hmm.
before you go with the settlement.
Okay.
The bank's title company, they want to get rid of the damn thing.
Right.
So they may overlook something.
Yeah.
They may not realize, like I'll give you a perfect example. The property I just bought at Home State,
Mm-hmm.
last week I got a bill for $22,000.
Whoa.
A water bill sitting right here on my desk for $22,000. Now, before I bought the property, the conversation came up 2 weeks before me going to settlement. Hey, there's a water bill lien on here. We got to get it cleaned up.
Yeah.
So we were supposed to go to settlement. They didn't get it cleaned up, so we extended the settlement, gave them another 10 days to get it cleaned up. Then we gave them another 10 days to get it cleaned up. So when we went to settlement, they had assured us everything was clean and wiped out.
Mm-hmm.
And it told my title company that.
Mm-hmm.
So then my title company went back to them, like last week when I got the notice, I scanned it and I sent it to them and said, listen, I just got this notice. She's like, well, how's that? I'm like, I don't know, but you need to figure it out. See, I got title insurance, so you want to get title insurance on every title. Because if something like this happens, then you put in a claim against the title insurance.
Okay.
Gotta get title insurance.
Okay.
Gotta get title insurance. Because you never know when this stuff comes back. It happened to me last week. But this stuff happens.
Right. Okay, so the title insurance takes care of it then.
It does, but you don't want to exercise the title insurance. It's like anything. If you have a car insurance,
Right.
and you get in 10 car accidents, and you keep putting in a claim, eventually they're gonna drop you, and your rate is gonna be $2,000 a month
Right.
because you're just a risk,
Right.
right? And the same thing with the property. You don't want to put in claims against properties because you become a risk. Because there's a lot of fraud out there. People put in fake claims,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So the short sale process, I really think the short sale process is getting better. I think the banks have reduced their times, and now they've worked out a system and they've created processes. Whereas 2 or 3 years ago, you know, there weren't a lot of processes and systems there, but I think it's gotten a lot better now. If you really want a house, most short sales are in good condition. They don't need a lot of repairs, most of them. Most of them are newer homes, built like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They're not that old. And most of them are already discounted. and some of them are approved short sales, and you can get a good deal, but you still gotta wait anywhere from 60 to 90 to 120 days, if not longer. And the bank will let you know if your offer got accepted. I don't know. I like REOs, I like foreclosures because I know what I want and I know when I want it. It's a lot easier. Where short sales is still a process, it's work. You don't know if they're gonna call you 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, say, okay, you got the deal. It's a waiting game. But you can make money from it. You can actually go to the homeowner, and when you talk to the homeowner and you tell the homeowner, look, your home's upside down by $100,000, what we could do is we could do a short sale. And you could try to work out a hardship package with them and the bank, and the homeowner will give you authorization to talk on behalf of them to the bank and explain what your situation is, the homeowners, and try to get the bank to accept a reduced price. And you could, you be the representative of that, and you can make money that way. But I haven't done short sales. I read about them. I've talked to people about them. I know they work, but
the time is just.
It's just there's timing involved. It's just a lot of timing. Okay, real estate investment clubs that I was talking about, the National Investors Association. Okay, they have a lot of local chapters where you could go to, and they have time schedules and places like there's many local real estate investment clubs that provide you additional education through books and CDs and self-help. But the thing with you, man, you're pretty motivated yourself. You just got to get to the meat.
Right.
You don't need a whole bunch of soup. So, but it's like I said, it's good. You can go meet people, talk to people. I mean, knowledge is always good. But I would look at my time, and I would look at, in question, is my time being used wisely? This website right here, our Real Estate Investment Club directory, will list all the different nearby clubs. Okay. Auctions, you can go to real estate auctions. I've bought properties from auctions. I've had success with auctions, but also lost a lot of money from auctions. And again, you got to do your due diligence. And auctions, you have what they call is absolute auction, which is an absolute amount. They're just going to take it and sell it. They don't care. But then you have auctions that have reserves, where they're like, okay, we won't take no less than $150,000. They may start off at $150,000 and go up. So, but and then auctions, they have premiums, anywhere from 5 to 10% premiums, which is on top of your purchase price. So if you purchase it for $100 and you got a 10% premium, that's $110,000. So you gotta be careful with the auctions. And they normally give you a time, like between 8 to 12, to come there first, examine the property, look at the property, analyze the property, do your comps, do your due diligence, and then you can bid on the property. But you got to be careful with auctions, because sometimes some of these smaller auctioneer houses, and I've done this before, they'll come to the auction, but they'll have their own people in the audience. To bid higher.
Right.
So they'll start with $100,000. Next somebody's bidding. Next they're trying to get people to bid.
Yeah.
They're trying to. So be careful. Now sometimes if I know the auction starts at 8, I'll get there at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'll sit in front of the house and I'll see how many people come.
Right.
So if the one guy pulls up, and then the auctioneer guy pulls up, he opens the door, and they're kind of related. And they're talking, then I could see, okay, this guy's part of the group.
Right.
So when the auction takes off, I can see the guy standing over there, the guy that is fucking rigged.
Yeah.
I'm not getting involved with that shit. You know what I mean? Forget about it. And then, okay, local bankruptcy lawyers. A lot of times, bankruptcy lawyers are good resources, If somebody's going through a hardship and they just filing bankruptcy, they may have a good asset that they got to get rid of, and they may be in a position where they're willing to take whatever. So sometimes having a good relationship with bankruptcy lawyers, and if they know you're serious and you're a cash producer, they'll call you. Hey, Sid, I got a property here. It's a steal. You want it, but I got to know by tomorrow 5 o'clock.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a short window, but you got to produce, and they'll call you. Now, if you do that, and they'll turn you on to a lot more deals, because their goal is to finish the bankruptcy paperwork and to liquidate the assets. So they can be a good asset in your corner, but you got to produce when they call. If they call you, you don't get back to them. They call you, you don't get back to them. They're going to erase you off that list, and you're not going to get no more phone calls from them. You know what I mean? Because think about it. If you're a bankruptcy lawyer and you got 20 cases you got to move, and you call, you say, hey, I'm an investor, I can do this in 10 to 15 days, this is what I do. He's giving you 4 or 5 opportunities that are solid, you never produce, but he's not going to call you. He's not, this guy's wasting my time.
Right.
He's going to call the guy that's going to make it happen. You know?
Have you ever dealt with one of those?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. And the same thing with CPA firms. CPA firms, they know which clients actually make money, which clients have money, which clients are actually making a lot of money.
Right.
So sometimes CPA firms could actually turn you on to investors, turn you on to cash buyers, can turn you on to people who just want to fund deals, private money, hard money. Sometimes CPA firms know about, let's say, a CPA firm has a client that's got 35, 40 properties. And they're 60, 70 years old now, they just want to get out. And they've been having conversations with their CPA, and they just got doing their taxes, and they probably told their CPA, hey, you know what? I'm going to start selling 20, 30 of these properties. I got to downsize the portfolio. I'm going to retire. I'm going to get out of here. Well, if the CPA knows you, and the CPA can say, you know what? I know a guy. He buys properties. Do you mind if I have him call you? Right? So the CPA guy, and you as the client for the CPA who you have trust in, you give him your social security number, you give him your bank account number, he knows everything about how much money you make. And if he gives you a lead of somebody that could potentially buy some of your properties and help you liquidate, why wouldn't you entertain the call? Right? Credibility. Builders, a lot of time builders, depending on you know, if you're wholesaling properties, you could go to builders and rehabbers, and you could promote your properties to them. A lot of times they will buy properties as well because they know what it's going to take to rebuild that property. A lot of times wholesalers and builders are out there building the wholesaler and not necessarily out there finding deals. So a lot of times for wholesalers, that's a good group of people to promote their properties to. Okay. Neighbors. So when you're in a neighborhood and you see a property there, okay, and the grass is kind of big, and you see the neighbors around there, sometimes just talk to the neighbors. Hey, you know what's going on with that property over there? How long has it been vacant? Nobody wants a bad property in their neighborhood. It brings rats. It brings roaches. It brings, you know, crooks. It brings bad stuff.
It brings down the value of their homes.
Right.
And everything.
So if you go around talking to the neighbors, they'll tell you about that property. Oh yeah, you know, somebody was there last week. Somebody was there 2 weeks ago. You know, that house was a you know, a drug dealer house, or the mother died. Something, they'll tell you about the property. Sometimes neighbors actually could be a great resource. You know, phone calls. You got to make phone calls.
Of course.
You got to make phone calls. You got to get on the phone. I would suggest, you know, with any type of sales, it just block a time, you know, between 10 to 12. My goal is to make 20 phone calls. My goal is to, you know, send out 20 emails. My goal is to, you know, spend an hour on research. My goal is this. Set goals and just block a time and be consistent with that. I mean, you know, you have to do other things as well, but block a time for this. You know, additional resources and some glossary about, you know, what a clean title is, closing costs, deed of trust, defaults, the terms that you should know, you know, HUD 1, liens, loan to value. You know what an LTV is?
LTV? No.
Okay, loan to value.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, LTV. It's like this. So you have your exit. Let's say you're gonna buy this property for $100,000,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna exit it for $250,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So then you look at your loan to value. The value is $250,000. The loan is $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
Loan to value, LTV. You take the loan amount, divide it into your exit, and you get a ratio.
Right.
Most banks will give you a ratio of 60%, 65%. Hard money lenders
Mm-hmm.
will do a loan to value at 60, 65%. Most banks, if you are a regular buyer, will give you financing up to 90, 95%, 97%, 80%, 85%.
Right.
If you're a buyer, regular buyer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So with the regular buyer, I suggest, you know, if you got $100,000, you got the option to put down 10, 20%, I wouldn't do it. I would put down the minimum amount possible and keep as much cash in my account as possible, because cash is king, right? So if you got $100,000 in the bank account and you buy a $100,000 property and it's telling you put down 20%, that means you got to take $20,000 and put it in this property, which you're never going to see again.
Right.
Until you sell it one day.
Right.
Or the guy said you could put up $3,000 and keep the $17,000 in your account. What are you gonna do? Put up the $3,000, right?
Yeah.
So you always want to put up the least amount of money as possible in a deal.
Okay.
Whereas in the past, people say, "Oh, put up as much as you can, pay off the house." But the way home values are going down and with the uncertainty, you want to get in, but get in with a minimum amount of money.
Right, I mean, and plus it depends on the purpose of your purchase. Because if I'm purchasing as an investor, I don't want to keep that home. I mean, I want to put in the least amount possible.
Sure.
Because when I'm looking for profit, I'm not looking to spend
Exactly.
much money.
Exactly.
Now, if I'm looking into move in and keep that as my home for, let's say, 30 years, which is what a lot of buyers do, looking to settle down or whatever, then I might put in whatever amount possible because I want to pay it off.
You never pay it off.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
you never pay it off. So since you never pay it off, then what's the point of putting in that much?
Most people,
Mm-hmm.
based on trends, live in a home for 10 to 15 years.
Okay.
Then they move. They either grow out of the house,
Mm-hmm.
or let's say they move in, their kids are small, then their kids go to college, then they want to downsize and go to a smaller house because their parents get older.
Yeah.
Whatever the case is, but 10 to 15 years, some people say 7 years, some said 10 years. But since the market's been going down and we had this huge crisis, I think more people will live in their homes a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
But you never will live there for 30 years.
Right.
Maybe you will.
But
Some
the
people
odds
do.
are very little.
So, okay. And then you have this property checklist. So this checklist gives you, when you go to the home, how to inspect the things you need to inspect, like the roof, the exterior paint, check the windows, check out the foundation, check out the garage, if the garage needs any repairs, the garage doors,
Mm-hmm.
check out the yard, is it hilly? If you got a property and the backyard just drops like this,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't buy that. I mean, I would, if you got a property and the backyard is nice and flat where kids could run around and play,
Yeah.
and that has more value than a house where the property just drops.
Yeah.
It takes away from the use of the backyard.
Right.
And then if you got a house and there's a whole lot of trees right next to the house, covering the house, be careful with that, because a lot of times those trees could fall,
Storms
and then the tree roots go underneath the foundation and put cracks in your foundation.
Right.
So be careful with that too.
Okay.
Plumbing, look at the plumbing, see how old the plumbing is. The electrical system, look at the interior of the walls, the drywall, the paint, the crown molding, the function of the space, what you can do to the space, all the kitchen and bathroom stuff, yank it out, and then do your repairs. Put down your asking price,
Mm-hmm.
after repair value, you know, do your offer price. If you're talking to a person like you would sit down and do this, if you're sitting in a home with the homeowner and you're talking directly with the homeowner, you would kind of just follow this checklist and put prices and then make them an offer. Okay? So that's pretty much the class. So what we do is we spend time here going over this material, going over this stuff here, and then we go out and look at the properties in the field.
Okay.
That way you have both hands-on as well as material classes.
And who designed this book? You did?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, because I have read a lot of the information that's in here. I've read about it, you know, in my own time.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So how you like it?
Pretty good. Again, it's reinforcing what I have read, so
Yeah.
it's pretty good. It's pretty good, and it sounds just like what I read too.
It's real.
A lot of the information, yeah, and so again, one philosophy I believe in, or one theory I believe in, is that you don't know if you know how to swim until you jump in the water. So, but now you don't want to swim with the sharks. So this is a good starting point. You know, I told you what my goal is. My goal eventually is pretty much to be where you at. You have your properties that you have for cash flow, and you know you have your properties that you have for quick return. That's eventually what I'm looking towards, you know, dealing with. So this as a starting point is great. I am looking to locate some properties and, you know, learn the evaluation process, be able to evaluate it. I can, you know, direct them right to you, and then you'll work with me looking at the property. And I would like to see, you know, the process, how you go about it in buying it and selling it and fixing it, everything in between. I'd like to see that, so I get that exposure, so I get that experience. I can see exactly how it's done. So eventually, when I get to that point where I can do it by myself, I can, you know, develop my own company. I know exactly, you know, what the process is and what I'm looking for. So, you know, I believe it's a very good start.
Well, that's why I thought with this new project, since that's like day one,
Right.
figured that would be a good time for you to see it as is, and then kind of see the transformation take place over the weeks, right?
Yeah.
And then you can see, okay, then when we market the property, how are we going to market it to get the proper exposure, and then when you get the buyer, then you go over the contract and the settlements, the negotiations back and forth, then you get the check.
Yeah. So what I like to do is, I know I got to do a lot of reading, is just get familiarized with the. Of course, you got to know the language. You got to be able to speak the language to be able to communicate with the investors as well as with the sellers, and the legal loopholes. You know, the legal, everything that goes into it. Because I mean, information is money. Information is power. So you don't want to make the bad move and that's it.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Yeah.
Because the thing about this area, a lot of people know a lot of people. So the top people out of here that are doing most of the deals, they know each other.
Yeah.
Okay, I know a lot of these people. They know me. A lot of people down here that are trying to get it, they're trying to get to these people.
Right.
They're trying to create relationships.
Right.
But if the people are already here, they're here for a reason. They've already kind of climbed the ladder.
Right.
So the people here are looking to work with the people down here, but only the right people.
Okay.
Not just anybody.
Right.
Because everybody says they want to do it. Everybody shows the intentions of doing it, but everybody's actions are not aligned with their intentions.
Right.
That's the problem.
Okay. All right.
So your actions have to be aligned with your intentions. If you intend on doing X, Y, Z, but your actions speak A, B, C, and it's just not gelling, and 3 months and 6 months and 9 months and 12 months have gone by, but dude, you say one thing, but you're doing totally something else, and no wonder you're not getting what you want to get.
Right.
And you're getting what you're getting because you keep doing what you're doing.
Right. See, it makes total sense. Yeah, and I was just talking about that yesterday to my little sister. You know, you got to keep a certain level of discipline to be able to acquire what you want to acquire. And you know, this is a perfect example. So for me to acquire this, I know I gotta go online. I gotta do my research. I gotta, you know, find these properties. Especially, I have an interest on the for sale by owners. I believe, you know, that's a good
That's
group
an easy
of people.
target.
Yeah, good group of people to target and talk to. Especially as a beginner, I think that's a good group of people.
Yeah.
And you know, and again, I'm just talk to you, pass it right along, and acquire the knowledge that I need to move
And
forward.
plus, the more phone calls you make, the more key questions you're gonna ask, and the more conversation you have, the more comfortable you'll come when you speak back to them.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's and it becomes it'll just roll right off your tongue.
Right.
And you're like, dang, did I say that? But that's what's gonna happen.
That's how it is. That's how it is. I mean, that's how it is in sales overall. That's when I started the radio station. You know, I had to know my product, getting to know my product, getting to know what to say. It was kind of like, but after a while, second nature. You ask me a question, bam, there it is.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
And the key is you gotta believe in what you do, and you gotta have fun at it.
Yeah.
You gotta have fun at it, and you gotta believe what you do, and never take rejection personally.
Yeah.
It's never personal.
No.
It's whatever it is for that moment at that phone call, and go to the next one.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. You know, so you know what they say. The guy says, "I don't know everything, but I know what I know. I am who I am. I'm not perfect." But so he says something like, I got what I got based on my hard work," or something like that. But you know, you just gotta stay true to yourself. And we don't know everything. We don't. But we know what we know, and we have to make it work for us. And you and I are two different people. Your character and my character is different, but we have the same intentions.
Right.
We have the same goals. We want to be in the same place. But we're different people.
All right. And now, as far as the deals, you said after you close them and after you sell them, I get $4,000 for the reference.
No, what happens is you find a property, you talk to the guy, and he allows you to come in, and you guys have a great conversation, and you make him an offer. You know, after talking to me, he accepts the offer. You know, then we end up buying the property. When I go to settlement, when I buy it, at that time you get the money. At that time you get the money. Then when I fix it up and rent it out or whatever I decide to do with it, that's all me. But at the time that I buy it, that way you don't have to wait this whole other time.
And okay, so scenario, I go to this seller and I talk to the seller. I tell the seller I'm representing Brickfront Properties. I want to see the house, and we set up an appointment or whatever. I go see the house. I do the evaluation. I determine, what the whatever facts for this evaluation. I get all the numbers. After I tell you, then once I get all the numbers, I come to you and talk to you and pretty much show you whatever it is that I found on this property. Then you or someone from here go out there, reevaluate it, make sure everything's lines up, and from there you'll be able to make a decision if yeah or no.
Yep.
Simple enough.
Yep. And then so we would do the contract with the homeowner, and then if we decide to actually buy it ourselves and fix it up, then that's what we'll do. Now, because we have a database of thousands and thousands of buyers, cash buyers, now we take it and we put it out in our cash buyer platform and blast it out there. And somebody says, "Hey, I'll buy it." Cool. Okay, well you could buy it, and then let's say you agree to it, and then we end up wholesaling it. Then you make some money, and I make some money.
Okay.
Because I already have this thing set up. Right? I got buyers, I got cash buyers, cash investors. I got rehabbers, I got builders, I got other investors like me. And we could create something like this type of document. Boom, put it out. I got over close to 15,000 names of people. Some people buy it.
Sounds like it. All right. Well, it's certainly a good start.
I'm gonna turn this camera off. Well, that was Brickfront Properties, June the 3rd, Saturday, training class for short-term and long-term real estate investments.
Today's the 4th.
Oh, today's the 4th, June 4th. Let me see if it recorded the whole day.